Seattle are the 1 seed for the 4th time in team history. All of those have come over the last 2 decades. Each of the previous times that they've won the NFC title, they came away with Lombardi in Super Bowl in, was that Super Bowl 48? That was right down here.
Yep.
That was right down here in the New York City. Ryan Clark is alongside. You got a touch screen for me?
I got a touch screen, and I think it's fitting that we spoke to Zach Charbonnet because so much about this game was Sam Darnold and the narratives that at least we heard about him.
And I appreciate what he's saying.
It was awesome. It wasn't about what was going on in the building. Those weren't the conversation. That team was just trying to win. But we knew exactly what it was. And we talked so much pregame, though, about what this defense could do and what Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet had done the last 2 weeks of the season. And so what I want to show is what those two players were able to do to not only help Seattle score points, but also take some of the onus off of Sam Darnold. Now, what you're going to see along with the motion is Green is going to be in man-to-man, so he's going to follow Cooper Kupp to the top of the screen. Now, look at this set. In this set, the 2 most important people to the defense are going to be Brown here on the bottom of your screen because he's supposed to set the edge, and then Bethune, who is going to match what Charbonnet is going to do from the backfield. But as you watch it, as Charbonnet goes front side here, Bethune is going to flow too far over and allow the cutback. Now watch as he gets to this point. Look at the vision by Zach Charbonnet. What he knows is I can come out of the back door here and run right off of the block of Varner, which is going to switch and allow Zach Charbonnet to get to the outside. He gets to the outside here. Watch the hesitation and then the acceleration on Malik Mustafa to get it to the end zone. To me, this is the play of the second half. You see already Cooper Kupp's engaged, which is going to allow Kenneth Walker III to get to the outside. They're going to block here and then get to the second man, and then we're going to see Jackson Smith and Jigba take over on this block, and there's going to be the center who is going to leak out of the backfield to get a lead block, which ends up being the last block that springs Kenneth Walker III to get this first down. You see all the blocks downfield, the physicality of the run, and this was the play that could have had the Seattle Seahawks backed up. They were able to drive the football down the field and put another 3 points on the board, which really were just lanyap, which in Louisiana, that means a little bit extra for what they needed to get the win.
A little bit. You insult them a little bit. That's how they say it here in New York. At least they did in Goodfellas. You could show us offensive plays, and those lend themselves well to touchscreens. The story of this football game is the Seattle defense. We talked a bunch about them on Countdown, and Swag made some points, and you made some points. But, man, I asked Troy, I'm going to ask you, is this a defense that can win Seattle a Super Bowl almost on its own?
Listen, absolutely. And this is very similar to what this team was in their championship heyday with Marshawn Lynch and the LOB on the defensive side of the ball. It's done a little differently now. It's about the front end and the pressure they're able to create. But on the second and third level, this team runs and hits better than any team in football. We talked in the green room. There was a play where Brock Purdy got out of the backfield and looked like he was going to scramble for a first down, and Ernest Jones shuts it down right there in the open field. This team doesn't miss tackles. They swarm to the ball, and they make every single yard hard to gain.
Yeah, we looked at each other and just said they're just so efficient in tackling. You rarely have a yard after contact with him. And look, you referenced Legion of Boom, man. It's not sacrilegious, but you really better be sure you're talking about a special unit. But you referenced them, and I think with good reason.
But you really are. Also, look at some of the pieces that John Schneider, the general manager, has gone out to draft.
Similar.
You get Devin Witherspoon early in the draft at number 5. This year, you get a complete steal in the second round.
Couldn't believe
with Nick Emenwari. And I think that's a Mike McDonald pick. Think about what he was able to do with Kyle Hamilton near the line of scrimmage in Baltimore. Now you get another long-rangey safety, make him your nickel, and you can utilize him in so many different ways. How many times did we see that young man pop off of the screen tonight?
Well, we also laughed in the green room about tape and about the combine. And like, put on the tape.
Yeah.
Put on the tape. The tape's not going to be kind for Kyle Shanahan when he looks at it, and it's also going to mean it's going to be a short week because they're going to be playing next week. Here's his thoughts after coming up short tonight.
Oh, we're ready for it. I mean, yeah, it would have been nice to have to have a home game here, or both home games, and get a bye. But it is what it is. I mean, this team's been through a lot this year. Now we got to do it the hard way, and we'll embrace the shit out doing it the hard way, and look forward to it.
Could you try to get you guys to be a beat after this one, or do you want, you understand any kind of disappointment? Like, what was the mood of that?
Oh, disappointed. Those guys, I mean, regardless of how well we did, I mean, our guys really fought out there. Our guys were exhausted after the game, like we are after every game. I told them to enjoy tomorrow. We don't know whether we're going to play Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. We don't know who we're going to play until after the afternoon game. But when they come in here Monday, come in ready to go, wherever we got to go. And hopefully we can earn it a chance to see that team again.
Significantly more difficult road because you add by 25% the load of you got to win 4 rather than 3. But we're not in the business of selling sunshine here. But I made a point in the highlight about San Francisco's defense that I believe you want to echo.
Yeah, you look at this defense, you feel so much better about them today than you did yesterday. In watching the way they were able to stand up in the red zone, turning the football over on downs, forcing field goals, and some of the physicality that this team played with, we hadn't seen that in the last 2 weeks. And so now you do think about going on the road and having a defense that can at least create enough stops to keep you in the game. And when he said, we hope we earn an opportunity to play this team again, because he knows that his side of the football fell short, and he won't believe that a Kyle Shanahan's offense won't produce the next time if the defense plays this well.
And you'd have to believe if you saw them again, you'd have Trent Williams, who you did not have tonight, and that's a gigantic piece of it. But I do wonder, whoever they play next won't be as good defensively as Seattle, but you know that they still are out there somewhere.
Yeah.
But you heard Kyle said they want to find them somewhere down.
It might be at home. I'm sure there'll be a group text sent out for a little watch party, but yeah, we'll see.
It'll be agonizing for you to root for the Saints.
Yeah, so, I mean, a tie still gets us in, so they could still tie.
Will you reach out to anybody on the Saints? Do you know anyone just that you have that kind of relationship with that you text, maybe say something?
I might try and call the hotel for the Falcons. I don't know where they're staying, but.
The old prank call routine, get the fire alarms going. So with Tampa's victory, the NFC South winner will be 8-9, the 5th division winner with a losing record since the merger. Buccaneers most recent to do it. They're quarterbacked by Tom Brady. That was his final season. Carolina can still get in if Atlanta beats New Orleans on Sunday. Here's what Bryce Young had to say about the position the Panthers find themselves in.
I might not even watch, to be honest with you. I might just see how it ends up. Yeah, it's on us for that being our reality. We had opportunity to take it. Now we have to leave it in someone else's hands, so we take ownership in that.
You're not going to watch?
Yeah, I wouldn't watch. Like to be honest, I definitely wouldn't go to a watch party. And you'd be surprised at how many guys actually don't watch football or watch other teams play outside of studying. I think what you saw in both of those quarterbacks, and I could be reading this wrong, you let me know, was disappointment. There was disappointment for Baker Mayfield that we were 6-2 at one point and had this division in the palm of our hands and allowed that to slip away late in this season. Yep. If you're Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers, you're upset because you had opportunities to put this division away before you were in this position. And now both of these teams are waiting on the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints, who, based on the way that they're playing right now, are playing better than both of these two teams to decide who the NFC South champion is. This is the most NFC South thing that's happened this year.
I'm smiling because earlier today I said all due respect, which when you say all due respect or no offense,
you finna disrespect and offend.
With all due respect, is either of these teams a threat to beat anyone in the playoffs next week?
Absolutely not. And, you say they're a threat because they're all professionals. You say that they're a threat because we have seen the Carolina Panthers beat both the Rams and the Green Bay Packers. But these teams aren't playing at a playoff level. These teams aren't on the elite tier of the NFC teams. And if I'm San Francisco, if I'm the Los Angeles Rams, I'm praying for the 5 seed because that means I don't have to go to Philadelphia
right.
and I go to either Carolina or Tampa Bay.
A lot of what we talked about on Countdown was about Bryce Young.
Yeah.
And the decision that organization has to make. They drafted the young man number 1. We know he got benched last year.
Yeah.
The highs and lows this year, the gap between them has been massive. But in the rain, on the road, in a gotta-have-it game, what did he show you?
First of all, he showed me that the moment's not too big. That being the #1 quarterback coming out of high school, winning a national championship, and winning a Heisman Trophy at Alabama, that's who this young man is. In the biggest moments tonight, Bryce Young shined the brightest. In the biggest moments, they could count on him to deliver plays that you need your franchise quarterback to deliver. And it's almost, at least in my opinion, it's sad if he doesn't get to play in the next round. Because if I'm David Tepper, if I'm Dave Canales, I want to see him in a moment as an underdog with an opportunity to win the game, to see can he duplicate this outing, because we know this team has been up and down as a team. 1 week good, the next week bad, but so has Bryce Young. Can you show us some consistency in pressurized situations?
And if it were to be the Rams, that's a team that on that field,
Yes,
they beat, along with beating the Packers as well. So they've shown that they can do it. It's just on this particular day, not as good, frankly.
And you feel some sort of way as well, Scott, losing a game where your defense holds the opposing team to 16 points.